Hi everyone, my name is Christy and welcome to day 878 of trying a new makeup product every day. Today I'm going to be trying out a new drugstore foundation. I'm really excited about it. This is from Revlon. It's the PhotoReady Candid Glow Moisturizing Glow Anti-Pollution Foundation. So I just picked this up when I was at CVS, and since it said it was new, I was like, ooh, I haven't really heard about this. I think the Revlon Candid foundation already existed for a while, but maybe just this glow version is new. But I love the look of glowy skin. So I picked this up in the shade Porcelain 110. It's the lightest shade my CVS had, and this cost me $11.99. However, of course, when I was looking this up online, I saw that you could get it for $9.99 at Target. I am very shocked by the price difference of getting something at CVS versus Target. I'm going to keep that in mind when I'm doing some drugstore makeup shopping next, and I'm going to do mine at Target rather than CVS. But also when looking this up online, I found a lot more information than I was able to get from the packaging or from CVS. And this actually says that it has anti-pollution and anti-blue light ingredients to protect the skin, and then antioxidant vitamin E to help block environmental aggressors, and prickly pear oil to moisturize. And this is supposed to be sheer to medium coverage. So I'm really interested to see how it will look on my skin. I like this type of packaging actually because you get the pump, but then it's also the squeezy tube. So I'm gonna go ahead and pump onto the back of my hand. That's just one pump there. I'm sure I'm gonna need more. And you know what I'm actually gonna do? I'm gonna go ahead and start applying with my finger to start. And we'll see how it applies with my finger, because when a foundation or BB cream has a liquid texture like this, I have been really enjoying applying with my finger and then just going over the finger mark texture with a beauty sponge. And yeah, definitely some sheer coverage. I'm using up the rest of that one pump, and you can see it's barely giving much coverage on the skin, but it does feel super nice and moisturizing. It really does feel like I'm applying a really nice face moisturizer. All right, so I'm gonna continue applying it to only one half of my face so that you can really see the before and after. So I'm gonna go in with another pump. Ooh, that was a bigger pump this time. And continuing with my finger, apply it all over this half of my face. Let's see. Yeah, this porcelain shade, it's a good match. Maybe a little bit light, but it's just so hard to tell in the drugstore. But you know, with bronzer, you can really adjust and make it how you need. Or sometimes I even like to mix in a darker foundation with this liquid formula. It's really easy to do that, so I can make it a little bit darker if I need to match my neck. So that's one layer. I would say it's light coverage. Let me see if I can build it up. I especially want more coverage over the redness on my cheeks, and then I also have large pores along my cheeks and nose that I really want to build up some coverage. So I'm kind of tapping with my finger to build up that coverage, and I will say that it's buildable. And then I'm just going to bounce my beauty sponge on top to just smooth out the texture from just like the little marks that my fingers leave behind. But there's actually no texture at all to this formula. It looks completely smooth and beautiful on the skin. It definitely is hydrating, but it's not extremely dewy and glowy as I expected. It's kind of like like a natural finish. It's not really a glow finish in my opinion. And light to medium coverage is definitely accurate for this. I'm still trying to build up some more coverage where I feel like I really need it on the redness of my skin. And I think I'm just gonna have to settle for a little bit of redness peeking through. But I have to say, I really like the natural texture and the natural look of this because it looks just like skin. There's no cakiness, no visible texture of a product all over my skin, which is great. I love when my foundation is undetectable, and it definitely did even out my skin tone. It gave me some coverage, but it still looks like this could just be my natural skin with no foundation on it because you can still see like a little bit of redness, but I kind of like that, especially for, you know, a summertime look. You want your skin to look very natural and hydrated with some glow, but honestly, like I could go for even more glow than this, which if you want to add even more glow to your foundation, one of my favorite things to do is add in those liquid highlighter drops, and that will really take your glow to the next level. The ones that I love are from Iconic London. They are the Illuminator. I'll have that review video that I did on that Iconic London Illuminator linked in the description down below if you want to see it. But this foundation would be perfect to mix in with that product. I also really wish this had some sun protection in it. I feel like that would go so well with this product because of it just being like a very lightweight, moisturizing type of formula. Like it would definitely be a perfect medium light coverage foundation with some sun protection. But okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and use my beauty sponge to apply the product all over the other half of my face because I'm just really curious if this application method is any different, if I'm able to get any more coverage with my sponge versus when I applied it with my fingers. One thing for sure is that it is a lot faster for me to apply my foundation with the sponge rather than with my fingers. But what I like about applying with my fingers is that you know that there is no product waste because it's not like it's absorbing any product. But when I use the sponge, I feel like I end up using some extra product than I would have if I just applied with my finger because of the slight absorption from my sponge. I don't think that there's really any difference though. Texture-wise, it still looks completely beautiful and skin-like and undetectable and smooth with the sponge. And as far as the amount of coverage, it's exactly the same. So when the finished result is exactly the same, whether I apply it with my sponge or my fingers, I would probably just stick with the method of using my fingers to apply it, just so that I am using less product and then just going over to smooth out the texture. But if I was in a rush, I could totally just use the sponge. But here is the finished foundation look, and I really like it, especially if you are someone that doesn't need or want full coverage. I mean, I love full coverage and I kind of feel like I need and want it, but for something that just looks so natural, like you can be up close and personal with someone and they're not going to be able to tell that I'm wearing a full face of foundation. I love that. And you can also just easily do some spot correcting, concealing, but that would just be my only warning and call out, is that this is not going to get you 100% full coverage over the imperfections. It definitely does make an improvement though. And so now for the finished texture of my skin, it definitely feels so comfortable and moisturized. It feels very lightweight, like there's nothing on my skin. and it looks like there's nothing on my skin texture-wise, so I love that. But it's not that glowy. I wouldn't say it's matte, but if this didn't have the word glow on it, I would not call this a glowy foundation. I would call this a natural finish foundation. So it looks like pretty healthy skin, but I would still personally like to add even more glow to this. And I would say that I feel like $11.99 or $9.99 if you get it at Target is a good price for this. I do feel like it's worth that. So I would recommend this, but make sure that you are still adding your own sunscreen SPF with this, because surprisingly, this does not have any. So what I'm going to do is wear this throughout the day, and I'll do a wear test and let you know in the description down below how this works for me, how it lasts throughout the day, if my skin gets dry or oily, how my other products apply on top of it. So that way I can give this a full wear test and let you know the results down below. If you have any questions on it, just feel free to leave those in the comments. Thank you so much for watching my video today. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel so you can see the makeup that I try every day. And I will see you tomorrow in my next video.